any actual anything related to NWO. The only thing that we actually see that is in anything NWO related is Obama trying to get his bills passed, which if they do succeed, they will bring down the economies of the world. They will affect the whole world. But he not only cannot get his bill passed, which is why he's so desperate to get it overhauled. Now he's at the point of despotism to where he's not even trying to pace himself. Have you noticed? He is, despite everyone saying the healthcare bill, it sucks. And of course we know what's behind it. Despite that, and despite the very carefulness that the government's supposed to be taking, he's not abiding by that. Have you noticed all the resignations? The connections are very honest right now. We are seeing the unfolding. I have mentioned the government mess up on YouTube for quite some time. However, I've known about this for about 6 years now. A little bit more on the timeline. Glenn Beck is going to have the New York Democratic, I do not remember his name, Mesa, that's it, which is becoming a big story. He's under fire for being the one congressman that voted against cap and trade and healthcare bill. This is their system against themselves. They rely on themselves to get themselves out of stuff. Well, one guy and one vote, well, technically one guy and 2 votes. Well, yeah, actually one guy, 2 votes. Stopped the healthcare bill and cap and trade by himself, by just saying no. So he's under fire, incredibly. However, incidentally, this is the beginning spark. Tomorrow, Glenn Beck's going to have a full hour with this congressman. And what this, I understand this does not sound like very important news, but look, it did after all start with us, did it not? Our ways of living, our ways of seeing the truth and reacting. Do you notice that the quote revolution, going gun-ho with police officers, military, you name it, the whole lockdown on America, the whole martial law, across the board, which was the old plan, the old theory. Have you noticed the revolution is occurring by itself? You don't hear about any police officers hurting any protesters. You don't hear about this. You don't hear about political power being so dominant that it's causing people to react more aggressively as we previously thought. Because previously what we thought on how this would all go down as with the whole revolution is that it was going to be us versus them. Whether it be U.S. military personnel versus us, or U.S. military personnel and the Russians. No. How can it happen? It's not possible. It is not possible. Why is it not possible? Why is the government unable to get what they want done? Because it's unnatural. Plus, no being has the right to say to other beings, this is the way you should be. It's meant to end. There is meant to be a beautiful beginning and a technicality and a beautiful ending. It's meant to be beautiful. The universe is meant to be beautiful. It's not meant to, end sadly. Bad news. Bad news essentially is being so unaware that bad seems more valuable than the good. And that essentially was an issue for a while. Because most persons at one time during the NWO, I'm not going to call it conspiracy, I just want to throw out another term. During the Alex Jones phase, there we go, perfect. There was a sense of hopelessness, or like, this is going to be so close, this is going to be as if trying to cut a hole in a ship with a pair of scissors. could it be done? Is it possible to get a little hole in there? Essentially what I'm saying is that we have acted upon common sense, which actually started with the protests on the healthcare bill. Elders, grandparents, people who don't even know the government is as corrupt as we know it, we're holding up signs saying, government's fascism, death panels, Nazism, you name it. Beauty, eternity, and definitely a sentient direction. We are not meant to fix everything. What we can do is what we can do. What we are able to be is what we're able to be. However, potential and eternalism and eternity, progression, evolution, all exists at all times. I'd say that's sealed. Glenn Beck also pointed out that in Iceland, I guess there's some kind of debt that Iceland owes to England or something like that. And 90 plus voted don't do it, and 1.8, literally this is the actual number, 1.8% said yeah. And the president of Iceland's going to do it anyway. It's literally going to crush England. Yes, I mean literally gone. So the whole idea of how powerful the government is, that ended a long time ago, 2000. As of 2000 is when the occurrence of, I guess you could say, shift began. 2012 is about the equivalent of the beginning of 2000. Since 2000, since Bush, and up until now, look at the process. There was an eventuality, there was a consistency with eventually people would realize, maybe, yes, not to the depths that you know, not to the depths to where the government is connected to the draconians, the grays, you name it. Okay, sure, the people don't get it that deep, but is the government able to get anything done right now? So not even the severity of knowing how corrupt this government is not needed. It's not necessary. Think about it. If it was like, okay, the only way the earth is going to make it out of this is if everyone or enough people know to the core how corrupt this government is. Essentially, there has to be a logic established. This is the realization, cosmic realization, cosmic common sense, that if the unnatural circumstances are even occurring at all, they will be reversed. Now, with the government out of the way, the unfolding has begun. Turn on your television, watch Fox. Yes, you're going to see some stories you're not going to care for, of course. But you're going to see a bit more than a glimpse, that's for sure. At this point, it is nearing real time. In other words, the consistency of government exposure, even resignations, is heightening. Daily. Have you noticed daily that it's heightening? Just because you might not get it, I say we because I'm here on this planet as well. However, where I come from, there is a distinguish. But I say we because I want to stay true to what I was a part of. I was here. I was on this planet. Though 27 years ago, a year before my birth and becoming on this planet, I knew what was to occur. Now the process of awakening was very trying. Fox News is number one. All other news stations will have to meet par with Fox News very, very soon. In fact, I think they are already having to try and make this shift, because CNN